Namaste everyone. Welcome to Hindu Center of Atlanta's weekly spiritual learning program. Acharya Brahmadev ji has joined us today. Today we will be discussing on the topic in the context of International Day of Families, that was on May 15th. International Day of Living Together in Peace, that is on May 16th, and International Day of Light on May 16th. Acharya ji will be talking about the family in Vedas, how the Veda describes about the families and the importance of families. Acharya Brahmadev ji has an inclusive educational background in science, banking, management, and Darshanacharya, Vedic philosophy, Darshan Yoga Mahavidyalaya, Gujarat, and a diverse career in financial services, industry, and at Arya Sabha Mauritius. He has been a key resource person for Arya Sabha Mauritius on the universal Vedic values, yoga and meditation, and on interfaith and intercultural dialogue at various national and international forums. The Mauritius Council of Religions, Arya Pratinidhi Sabha America, Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple, and Hindu Center of Atlanta Yoga and Meditation Center incoming. He is author of numerous insightful articles on Vedic philosophy and contemporary issues in English and French. Over to Acharya ji.
Om. Namaste, everybody, and welcome. Let's bring our mind to focus. Sit down straight, close the eyes gently, deep inhale and exhale. And while exhaling, we are going to do chanting of Om, the universal sound, the main name of Ishvara God, and at the same time, follow our chanting. Notice the vibrations which starts from the belly region, the digestive forces, moving across the spine, and we are ending the chanting. We may feel the vibrations at the level of the brain. Following that, we'll be able to settle down in peace with good focus, and we'll do Guru Mantra, Gayatri Mantra once. Om Bhurabhuva Swa Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Joining the palms together, rub them gently in, cover the eyes, opening the eyes slowly below the palms. External light doesn't hit our eyes, and the energy to the facial muscles. I'll be proceeding through a screen share with PowerPoint so that you can better follow me. So namaste and welcome to everybody. We celebrated the International Day of Families, May 15th. And the flow is that we celebrated Mother's Day last weekend. This weekend, the International Day of Families. Then we have also the International Day of Living Together in Peace, which is today, 16th. And then International Day of Light, which is also May 16th. Beautiful coincidence, showing to us the foundations. Mother's Day, the mothers, the maker of mankind by giving birth, catering for our needs, physical, mental, spiritual, social needs, along with the father. That is the foundation of the family. And then if we have peace, we have light within the family, we'll have a peaceful world, and a world full of light, physical light, with the light of knowledge, the light of wisdom. Family, as I always refer to it as an acronym, for kids is defined, my family is father and mother, I love you. And if we grow and father and mother are no longer there, but still we love them by practicing the values they taught us when we were growing. So the family, when we are talking about living together in peace, when we are talking about light of wisdom, light of knowledge, enlightening the mind and the world, it starts always with the family at the basic unit of society. And that vests within the Vedic Hindu philosophy under Viva Sanskar, the Vedic marriage ceremony, and the Grihast ashram, where husband and wife manages life together, beget children, grow their own family. Then within that family, the basic unit is the individual. And the making of the individual, as I said, depends on the mother during the gestation period, pregnancy. And it starts with the 16 sanskar, the first of which is the Garbhadhan sanskar. And commonly we see that in the Ramayana as the Putrishti Yaj, which led to the birth of 4 noble sons, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna. So it's a whole concept, and we see that in the epics. We see the effect of the good sanskar within the Pandavas, and unfortunately, the bad effect of negative karma, negative sanskara among the Kauravas. So issues that affect everybody within the family and within the whole world, within society and the whole world. Personal, emotional, financial safety. You'll understand roti, kapra, or makan, food, clothing, and shelter. But then there's also an overall approach, a holistic approach to wellness as defined by WHO, but coming again, sourcing again from the Vedas, which talks about physical, mental, moral, spiritual, and social well-being. If we're able to look into the nitty-gritties of that, physical, mental, moral, spiritual, and social well-being, we cover all the aspects relating to peace, progress, and prosperity at personal level, at family level, societal level, and world level at large. As said, roti, kapra, or makan, food, clothing, and shelter, these are the tangible parts that we need to cater for. Healthcare and sanitation, another aspect of that, especially in the world of today. COVID is spreading like wildfire just because we've been negligent in our own healthcare. in social distancing and mask wearing, or in all the guidelines that have been issued from time to time by the health authorities. So let's take care. The tangible part, that which we can feel, of which we use daily, is very important. That affects the physical making. But then there's an intangible part which probably englobes more issues for maintenance of good bonding, good relationships, not only among family members, but among members of the society and members of the global family, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. These are things like trust, Vishwas, love, prem. It's love also between the spouses, but love also between the children and their kids. It's also the love we have for our parents. So it is, these are things that are transmitted from generations to generations in a very informal way. Then respect, other, civility, shishtachar, sabhyata, honesty, satyata, courage, sahas. Then pushing the drive to be dedicated, nishtha. Pushing all to take good initiatives, self-confidence, atmabal. Then a very important component within the family is mutual support, apasi sahyog. So these are the intangibles which probably we tend to overlook, but very essential for us so that we can start with a peaceful self, then a peaceful family, and a peaceful world onwards. And the Vedic Hindu philosophies gives us the roadmap to that in terms of the four purusharth, the four goals of human life. Dharma, righteous living; artha, righteous earnings; kama, righteous enjoyment; mukti, moksha, salvation, liberation to be in the internal bliss of Ishwar God. And look, the foundations is dharma, ethical living, righteous living at all steps of life. Otherwise, if we take it from the dharma, dhriti kshama damosteyam shaucham indriya nigraha dhi vidya satyam akrodho from manusmriti. Or we can take it from the foundations of yoga philosophy, which start with yam niyam, personal and social discipline. These are the foundations. We've dealt with both of them, the 10 precepts of Manu and Dharma, and Yama, Niyama. Let's just make a brief of the outline of the Yama and Niyama. The 5 Yamas are Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, and Niyama, Sauch, Santosh, Tapa, Swadhyay, Ishwar, Pranidhana. Ahimsa, non-violence; Satya, truth; Asteya, non-stealing; Brahmacharya, self-restraint, moderation in life, as well as always be on the learning curve of both social and physical and spiritual sciences. Then aparigraha is the judicious use of resources, non-accumulation of superfluous things, including superfluous thoughts, not to burden our mind. Then Sauch is about purity of mind, body, and spirit. Santosh, be content. Tapa is to some degree endure the adversities of life to be able to develop resilience. It's austerity. Swadhyaya is study of the scriptures, 15, 20 minutes daily just to keep the spiritual connect in life, then Ishwar Pranidhan, surrender or be compliant to the laws of nature, to the laws in this creation, and to the guidance of Ishwara through the inner voice, the divinity within us. Then we'll be able, through the realization of the intangibles which we talk about, we'll be spending quality time within the family. We'll be able to bond better. And by mutual support, we'll unfold our talents and abilities, where the 1 + 1, that is 2 persons, husband and wife, don't make 2 within the family, but make 11 with a synergistic approach to life. Then the life's goals will be firmly grounded in humane living values, spiritual goals towards the attainment of materialistic goals in life. After that, we'll be really happy in life, which is the word santosh from niyama. We'll be happy for the things that we have, and we'll cease to be unhappy for the things that we don't have. We learn to enjoy, to appreciate the things that we have in our lives, rather than the gloom and doom of the things that we don't have in our lives. The other concept, when we are talking about family, it's about togetherness. And togetherness goes in line with, we all know the prayer for unity from the Vedas. Om Sangachadvam Sambadadvam Samvo Manansi Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate. This is from the last part of the Rig Veda, the second in the group of 4 mantras in the last sukta of the Rig Veda. It's a call for living with the spirit of oneness, of love and togetherness. How? Let's look into it. It says, may we move forward in harmony with a common goal. May we speak in one voice, our minds be in accord for integrated wisdom. The question arises, how can we have a common goal when someone aims to be a doctor, another one an engineer, another one probably a businessman, another one a farmer, another one just be content about going to work in an office or things like that. The common goal is the higher goal of life, to be human as described in that same Rig Veda, Manurbhava Devyam Janam. And that higher goal is only achieved when our goals are aligned with the living values of human life. And it says, Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate, as dutiful lineage of our ancestors, which consisted of sages and seers, very talented, gifted people who always upheld the laws of the creation, the laws of nature, the laws of the universe, and the universal living Vedic values. So if that is our goal, we toe into the steps of our ancestors in reaching the goals, we'll be able to create that moving forward in togetherness. And that approach to peace, progress, and prosperity will anoint the muddled mind, the confused mind. It heals by crushing or overpowering the pride, which often blinds us. And blinds us, not blinds us as a person, but rather blinds our soul which fails to listen to the divine guidance. It pushes us to listen and not disregard that inner voice. And more importantly, it saves us from downfall. Because when we are doing good things, we have the sense of elation, encouragement, motivation from inside. But when we contemplate bad things, it just hold the brake. The inner voice telling us, review the goals, the strategies, and the tactics. So that in that way, it leads us to inner peace. We'll find peace within ourselves. Then we'll be able to find peace with others. Thus consolidate peace, progress, prosperity for all in the world. And this is what we pray for in the Vedic prayers. When we say Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina or Sarve Sham Shantir Bhavatu. And in all the bhajans that we are singing, we are praying for that. Shanti, Sukh, Shanti, Samriddhi. So let's look also in the concept of world peace, in the concept of the International Day of Light. So we've seen in the context of family, I as an individual have to be correct within the family for the family to be correct. And that is the way to peace building within the world. Now let's look at what the lamp teaches us so that we can enlighten our life. Just to make, I'll just go out of the subject and come. When we pray in Gayatri Mantra, which is common to all of us, we say, Dhyo yo naha prachodayat. This is prayer for enlightening of the mind. And the first word of the Vedas is Agni. Agni mele purohitam. Agni referring to all types of energy, including light, enlightening the world where if had there been no light, we would have taken cognizance of our surroundings. We wouldn't have been able to catch the physical, social sciences from the universe and the light of knowledge given to us in terms of the revelation, the Vedas. So let's look at the lamp within our life. What does the lamp teaches us? It has various components. It has the lamp, which holds the oil, and the wick standing within the oil or the ghee. But if we put the oil up to the rim, covering the whole of the wick, that lamp won't be able to give us that shining, brilliant light and lightening all around. So there need to be an equilibrium, sufficient ghee or oil in the lamp to let it burning brightly, the wick well placed in between so that it doesn't topple and doesn't get drowned in the oil or the ghee. And this is where we get the light of the world. So if we learn from that to be able to stand within society and be the light of the world, not immersed in the world, but be the light of the world, and each and everybody tries to be that, we'll be able to make a shining world. And remember, the lamp also, it stands in a shadow, in its own shadow, to be able to give light to others. That's the teaching of the lamp, which has a very diya, which has a very prominent place in the Vedic Hindu rituals. So understanding the nitty-gritties or the fine knowledge within that, what the lamp teaches us. The wick should be well placed, well standing in the middle of the oil, or the ghee and burn brilliantly. Itself, the lamp remaining in shadow, giving light to the world. The light of wisdom, the light of knowledge is needed for us to stand as the lamp within society, within the family, within society, and within the world at large. Whether it's be togetherness for peace, whether it's be for my personal welfare, for the welfare of the whole world, it's always like that. And we see the light in life, referred to as Agni, as I said, Agni Mile Purohitam. The first word of the Veda is Agni, energy in all its forms. Shouldn't be taken as we say, blinkered way of looking at the Vedas. It means energy in all its forms. That's why the Vedas include the knowledge of all the sciences, mastering of energy, but then the light of knowledge, education, science, arts, philosophy, and the Vedic knowledge. That is equally important to master, along with the mastering of the energy, which man has done brilliantly, but then gone beyond that to give global warming, etc. So if we have moderation in life, we stand brightly as the light in life, we'll be able to create that better family, that better world, that better peace. Then light as Jyoti, the physical light. Let's look at it now. We all know, those who've done biology, about photosynthesis, where plants take carbon dioxide to manufacture their own food to grow and give out oxygen for our life, which is needed for our life. So it teaches us ecology. Oshadhaya Shanti, Vanaspataya Shanti. Then plants, by their own process, ensures food security. In terms of the vegetation which we use as food, in terms of the vegetation which we use as medicinal plants. Then physical light as we know it, for sustainable development, lighting of the spaces, homes, office, shops, factories, etc. That is also important in life. Then light for safety. We all know when we drive, we need the rear tail lights in vehicles, even in spacecrafts, in aviation, in rocket industry, as we say. And today we use more and more of these in surveillance cameras. We know also light in healing, as X-rays, as other process for scanning. So let's understand light in life. If we understand the various use and we drive them into our lives, will be the light in our life and the life of others around us. Then light in life, in the Vedic philosophy, about phototherapy or chromatherapy, telling us to always be up before sunrise, Brahma Muhurat, which is commonly known. The importance of waking up before sunrise and face the sun, probably sitting down in prayer, meditation, or doing Surya Namaskar, the physical bundle of physical exercises that lights our life with the rays of sunlight. How? It's acknowledged in modern medicine, modern science, that standing before the rays of light, sunrise and sunset nourishes our body with vitamins A, D, and I think B12 also. So these are the Vedic concepts of life. To enlighten our life, to be peaceful with ourselves and peaceful with the family and with the whole world. So the universal concept of light also is seen in Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. where the emphasis in the first part is asatoma sadgamaya, the emphasis is on truth. The second one, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, on light, the light of knowledge, the light of wisdom to move out of ignorance. And this is the light of knowledge which I think Faraday used to manufacture the electric lamp. And he burnt, it is said he burnt 999 before getting the 1000th one working properly. So the light of patience, the light of forbearance, to endure failure before success. The light of wisdom tells us that failures are only stepstones to success. Then the last part says, Mrityuramamritam Gamaya. It's about mukti, being in the eternal bliss, the eternal light of God. Then the light in our life, the universal goals which will bring us with togetherness, Manurbhava, be noble in thoughts, speech, and actions. Then the light of togetherness, again, in another mantra. This one is from the Yajurveda 36th chapter, which talks about universal peace. Mitrasya chakshusha samikshamahi. May we look at all with a friendly eye. And when we say all, it's living and non-living beings. This is where we will learn to respect all forms of life, not only human beings, but also animals, plants, vegetation, etc. Take only what we need from this world, but beyond that, that will enable us to live in a sustainable way with Mother Earth. Then also look at non-living things with a friendly eye, like looking at the space, air, water, and everything around us with a friendly eye, so we'll reduce our pollution and cater more so that that sustains human life for longer and better for. Then we have the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is but one family. This is the global concept of globalization, the global family. And remember, within a family, we don't exploit, we don't draw profits from each other, rather, we promote the goodness by mutual support. And it's all based on the yardstick of human values. Then we have the concept of Dhyayo Naha Prachodayat, which I was talking. It's the universal prayer for enlightenment of the intellect. And with the enlightened mind, we'll be able to sift truth from untruth, virtue from vice, dharma from adharma, and we'll be able to shoulder our duties and responsibilities, shunning negligence and carelessness. And I was just watching a video yesterday about chanting of the Gayatri Mantra, research done by AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi. People have been researching on the chanting of the Gayatri Mantra, and they found that these activate the brain cells with and maintain the body in equilibrium, and that is where we get the concept of Gayatri Mantra, the Guru Mantra, to be able to stabilize ourselves in our life. And when we activate all these energy levels with the Gayatri Mantra chanting, we'll be able to find peace within ourselves and eventually grow that peace all around us. Then the universal concepts of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. This is universal welfare. And universal welfare starts with me, family, friends, relatives, society, and world at large. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, may all be happy. Sarve Santo Niramaya, none be suffering from disease. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, may we look at what is auspicious. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet, nobody be under pains and sorrows and afflictions. So when we live to the ideals of the prayer, it's not only praying, but we'll have to practice that to achieve that goal in life. We'll have a better environment for the family together as one unit. Various persons within the family, but together as one unit, as a family. And all the families together as a unit of the global family. This is where that will lead us to celebrating the International Day of Living Together in Peace with the Shanti part, which is prayer for universal peace. It also says Shanti Sama. May that peace be within us and that peace be peaceful, so that we don't have to fight wars to establish peace. If that peace comes within me, then obviously, when I look around as a peaceful soul, as a peaceful person, spreading the aura of peace all around me, I'll eventually be able to contribute to making the family, the society, and the world more peaceful and working together. Working together, we can say that if there are differences in faith, in belief, in our prayer systems, how can we work together? Simple answer, let's rise above the rituals. Let's go into the spirituality behind the rituals. As I gave the example of the lamp, when we are lighting the lamp, if we understand the concept, we have to stand properly as the wick in the midst of the oil and be as the lamp standing in its own shadow, giving light to the whole world. That is the spiritual concept behind that ritual of lighting the lamp. Like that, so many things that we do in rituals, if we understand the spiritual underlying undertones of the rituals, we'll be able to make a brighter life, a peaceful life. So many things we do, but then the commonalities between all those are the human values, the universal living values, which cuts across or transcends faith and belief to whatever be our appartenance. So in the making of the International Day of Families, sensitizing people on the importance of the family in our life, then International Day of living together in peace, of togetherness, and the International Day of Light, let's take it beyond and be contributing to a better world. And the recipe for that are the 4 behavioral patterns defined in Yoga Darshan, the aphorism 133 of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali Maharshi. It says, Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanat Tash Chit Prasadanam. Maitri towards the Sukhi, friendship towards the happy, Karuna towards the Dukha. So compassion towards those in distress, Mudita towards the Punya, contentment towards those who achieved success through ethical living. Then the last one is Upeksha towards the Apunya, that's indifference towards those who are the hurdles in the advancement, physical, moral, social advancement of all. Upeksha is indifference, that is no love, no hate. If we understand those concepts, adopt them in life, these concepts of the Vedic Hindu philosophy of the behavioral patterns, we'll be happy. Because from that we learn to serve the adverse situations. By the next two short sentences, the first one says, let it be or never mind. Koi baat nahi. The second one says, leave it to karma. Eventually, justice will prevail. As we say, karma is a boomerang. Whatever we do, it will come back to us. So, Ishwar Nyay karega. If we are able to adopt these in our lives and live it practically, that is, the practical applications of these short sentences, Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam, Sukha Dukha Punya Apunya, will be Chit Prasadanam, will be happy in life. When it says Vishayanam Bhavnat Chit Prasadanam means will be happy at the level of the mind, body, and spirit. And then these two lines, let it be, leave it to karma, will make us happy with ourselves and not unhappy with what others are doing. So I just hope I've been able to provide some light on how we can make the most of the International Day of Families, the International Day of Living Together in Peace, and the International Day of Light. I've been able to combine that. I've tried to my best to combine those free events. And if you have any queries, just put up a line in Messenger on Facebook, Hindu Center of Atlanta. You can view our programs, previous programs through YouTube channel, Hindu Center of Atlanta, and also write to us on Gmail, Hindu Center of Atlanta at gmail.com. Otherwise, my WhatsApp number is there on the last line. Thank you for your attention. I'll leave it to questions and answers and leave it to Dhananjay ji.
Thank you, Acharya for a very detailed description or explanation the meaning of families on the special day of International Day of Families, International Day of Living Together in Peace, and International Day of Light. Acharya very nicely explained about the family. The family is the basic unit of society. The individual is the basic unit of family, and the family is made through the 16 sanskars of making a family. Acharya also explained on different tangible and intangible values of life and the family. The tangible qualities are food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, and sanitation, and intangible parts are trust, love, respect, civility, honesty, courage, dedication, initiative, mutual support. The foundation of family are like 4 purusharths we can do: dharma, earth, kam, moksha, righteous living, righteous earning, righteous enjoyment, and the salvation, liberation to be in the internal bliss of Ishwar. Acharya also explained in short the yoga philosophy in this episode. You can go back and know the detail about all these things. And Acharya explained realization of intangibles like quality time, bonding, unfolding of talents and abilities. Santosh, Acharya explained the last part of the Rig Veda also, a call for living with the spirit of oneness, love, and togetherness. Acharya very well explained the significance of lamp the light, wick, oil, light and shadow, it makes a lamp. And what are the different aspect of that lights? What are the things which we can learn from the light? Acharya explained too many things. I cannot summarize everything. Just go back on the video, which is available on the Hindu Center of Atlanta's YouTube channel. Acharyaji briefly explained the Yam and Niyam also, which we did the series at very beginning last year, very detailed about 10 weeks we spend on the Yam and Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Acharya just covered very in short in this episode. Hope to see you all. Just for a reminder, every Friday we have a weekly session for the children and young youth. On every Friday 9 p.m. Saturday we have a weekly satsang. Saturday morning 10:30 to 12 noon, and on Sunday spiritual learning for the adults, where we learn about the Vedic philosophy related with the special occasions or any special festivals. So do join us on this time. I hope to see you all in the next program. As you see, we have several options to reach us. Hindu Center of Atlanta as a Facebook page or YouTube channel, Hindu Center of Atlanta, and in Gmail, you can send us the email at hinducenterofatlanta@gmail.com. Hope to see you soon. Thank you, and have a nice week ahead. At last, we will do a Om Jap, and we will end after that.
Yeah, thank you, Dhananjay. It was a good catch up with the lamp. Standing like the lamp.
Yes.
And good reference. Thank you. One last Om Jap. Deep inhale. And while doing the Om Jap, sense the vibrations moving within the body, from the stomach, the belly region, to the brain through the spinal cord. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice week ahead. Take care, stay safe, and stay well. Namaste.